Good morning, y'all. I was just reading my word this morning, and a thought came to my head after I got through reading. I was reading in the book of Genesis, and this is the account of Noah and the flood when God repented for making everything because everything had got so bad on the earth, and the sons of God came down and they made babies with the daughters of man, and it corrupted the earth. All flesh was corrupted. And when I got to the end of my reading, I realized that it really matters who you associate yourself with, and that could be the grace that's on your life. Just you can have grace on your life just by who you associate yourself with. We have to be careful who we associate ourselves with because we can be guilty by association, and we can also be saved by different associations. We can find grace by different associations. And I'm not talking about salvation in general. I'm saying we can be spared by association. And this happened in different accounts in the Bible, but I'm going to read from Genesis chapter 5. No, I'm going to read from chapter 6 when it started. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of God, which are the angels, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all that they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit, it shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the earth, for it repented me that I have made them. So God wanted to destroy the man, the beast, the birds. He wanted to destroy everything because he was grieved and repented that he had made them and everything got so bad. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Notice, it didn't say that his sons. It didn't say his sons were perfect in their generation. It said Noah was perfect in the generations, and it said Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. And then he goes on to tell him what to make the ark of. But in this ark, Noah was able to preserve some things and take some things with him that were in company with him. And these things were his sons, their wives, 7 of each clean animals, male and female, and the birds 2 by 2 by pair and everything else like that. But my point is that they were saved through association with Noah. They found grace by association with Noah. It was only because they knew Noah and were connected to Noah that they lived, because God wanted to destroy all the flesh that was upon the earth except Noah and Noah's sons and their wives. They found grace with God because of Noah. This happened in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah also. It happened with Lot, Abraham's nephew. Because Lot was Abraham's nephew and he was associated with Abraham, Lot was not destroyed. And his wife and children were the only ones that were going to be preserved because they was connected to Abraham. But Lot's wife turned back and she turned to a pillar of salt. She was disobedient to what the angels were telling her to do. And so she ended up being turned to a pillar of salt. Another person this happened to is King Solomon. Because King Solomon broke the covenants and he started putting up Asher poles and serving different gods. King Solomon's kingdom was split because of his idolatry and because he was serving different gods. But it wasn't taken from him. But he got grace from God because of King David. If King Solomon wasn't David's son, I believe his fate would have been a lot worse than what it was. But God gave him grace because of who his father was. And so it matters who you're tied and connected to. You can have grace by association or you can be guilty by association.